Hey you, I'm Sarah Turner, copywriter and copywriting mentor, and I would love to talk to you about how to leverage guest writing opportunities to grow your freelance writing business because it's an incredible strategy. So first, let's kind of just define what I'm talking about. So guest writing is usually when you write something for somebody else's website or blog. And it's really fantastic for the person whose website you're writing for because they get maybe a free piece of content or, they can have more volume because they can have a lot of guest writers. There's a lot of different reasons why they might want it. They also might pay you for it. Just depends on the situation. But it's great for you because it's great for credibility because now you have pieces that are on other websites, especially if you're starting out and you're building that portfolio. This is a fantastic way to get practice, to build a portfolio piece, and to, establish credibility because you're on another website, especially if you're on a bigger website like maybe Business Insider or Entrepreneur. That's super great for credibility. It also puts you in front of new audiences, which is fantastic because then you'll have more eyes on your work and your thoughts and potentially more people clicking on your link and coming back to your website. So it might be an increase in traffic. So that's the other part about guest writing is it has your byline on it, right? So the other thing that's wonderful about this is that you will include a link to your website in your byline or in the first part of your article or somewhere like integrated. And that is fantastic because it's a backlink and that will help you with SEO. So a backlink just means anytime somebody links to your website, it tells Google that other websites are kind of pointing to and talking about your website. And it just says, okay, this is something that's really more authoritative, basically, right? The other thing is it's relationship building. I'm all about building those relationships. So when you are, writing for other people's websites and blogs, you're interacting with them, you're asking them about their audience, and you are building a relationship either within your niche or your industry. And I want to encourage you to not just write that guest post and peace out, continue that relationship. See how you guys can help each other and work on building your businesses together. So, how do you find people to guest post for? First, reach out in your community. I am sure somebody has a website that would be a great fit for you to write your first guest post. And then it'll have the added benefit of being somebody who already is kind of familiar with you, and it will make that whole process a little bit smoother, right? Because there's already a little bit of credibility because they already know you. Then you can search for people in your industry. I mean, you know who the thought leaders are, so start thinking about them, go down the rabbit hole, see who they're guest posting for, and just allow yourself to kind of come up with a few ideas. You want to make sure, though, that they're active, either with traffic to their website or they're active on social media, for example. You can also consider bigger sites like Mind Body Green, Refinery29, BuzzFeed. Some of those places allow you to submit guest posts, but also it doesn't have to be that big to be pretty effective. So try and find the balance, see what's best for you and your industry. Some things you want to keep in mind. You absolutely want a backlink. That's one of the best reasons to guest post. And it's better if it's included at the top of the post rather than at the bottom or like called out or something like that. Just because the higher up in the article, and especially if it's embedded at the top of the article, it's a lot better for SEO. You really also want to consider their audience. Don't just assume and don't just write for what would be your audience. Even Business Insider and Entrepreneur have slightly different audiences, right? You wouldn't write the same thing for each of them. And then you want to be sure to share it on your social media or, wherever you share your pieces, whether it's like LinkedIn or on your website, but you obviously don't want to copy and paste because that's not good for SEO. But guest posting is really wonderful for getting those initial pieces. Although if you go for somebody too big, sometimes it can be a little time consuming. So just kind of balance, find the balance between what is helpful for you, how much time do you have to devote to this? And then the other thing I want to throw in here is consider guest posting on behalf of your clients. Make this a recommendation that you offer your clients. This has been incredibly successful. So I work within the same niche, right? I work with doctors. I work with doctors who are generally, functional medicine or naturopaths or something like that because they are outside of the traditional insurance umbrella. So with that in mind, a lot of times people are like, oh, well, you're writing with people who are in direct competition with each other. Well, Not really, because most of them are location based and they're in different areas and they're not really competing with each other. Also, most of them generally have certain conditions that they focus on. You know, maybe it's chronic fatigue syndrome, maybe it's Lyme disease, whatever it is. They generally can be differentiated. But what was wonderful is I got them all together, kind of, really through me via email. And I said, let's do a guest posting exchange. And so they all guest posted on each other's websites. They all earned backlinks, and then they all had an opportunity to get in front of other audiences. It was really a win-win-win-win-win. And who was writing all those pieces? Me. So it was a win-win-win for everyone. So I wanted to also throw that in there because most copywriters, when they're thinking about guest posting, they generally think about doing it for their own business, but I definitely think it's something you should integrate and recommend to your clients for their business. So I hope that helps. Definitely start guest posting if you're not already doing it. It is wonderful. Also, it's a lot of fun. And if you like that video, hit that thumbs up button. If you have any ideas for videos you want to hear in the future, you know the drill. Drop me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And of course, don't forget to subscribe.